Alright, so this is video 5, simplifying radicals. The first vocab word that we're going to talk about is radical. Alright, so radical is, really put simple, is that symbol right there. This symbol is the radical. Alright, so when they talk about what is the radical, this is the radical. That symbol is the radical. And we've seen that symbol through square roots, right? We have a square root of, let's say, 36, right? This is right here. This right here is the radical again. All right. So in this case, the square root we already know. We'll plug it into the calculator, get our answer. But what really happens is that the square, and I'm just going to write it 2 because it's a square root, right? So square root means what two numbers, two of the same numbers, when multiplied together gives you 36. In this case, it's 6 and 6, right? So that this square root of 36 is just equal to 6. So right here, I want you guys to see this. The reason why this happens is that we have one pair right here, right? We're looking for a pair of 2. There's a pair. It comes out. That's your answer. All right. So let's look at cube root. So 3 cube root of 27. We already know that we can plug this into the calculator to get our answer. But what really happens is that cube root of 27. Wait, I don't want to write that. Cube root of 27 is the same thing as if you multiplied one number 3 times to get 27, right? So in this case, it's 3. Hence, our answer, cube root of 27 is 3. And the reason why, and this is what we're going to use when simplifying square roots or simplifying cube roots, is that we have a 3 out here, right? What that means is we want to find a group of 3. In this case, we have a group of 3. Once we find a group of 3, then it comes out. Alright? So not necessarily a group of 3 each time, but maybe something else like a group of 2s or a group of 4s or a group of 5 or whatever, right? That's how we simplify these cube roots. In this case, we can plug these into the calculator, no problem, and get our answer 6 and 3, right? But when we simplify square roots that are not perfect, like the ones above, for instance, a square root of 8, we can't do that. We get a decimal. So what we need to do is break this 8 down as much as possible into prime numbers, all right? So what I mean is, what two numbers multiply to 8? That's 4 times 2, right? Can we break this down? Yeah, we can break this down to 2 times 2, and then this one we can't break down anymore, so it's just 2, right? So again, we're looking at square roots, right? Square means 2. We're looking at a pair, a group of 2. So here is one group of 2. Let me do it a different color. One group of 2. All right, and this one, he's all alone, right? So this group of 2 comes out and becomes 2. All right, so it's like they found a couple, they got married, and they became one family, right? And this guy, he's all alone, so I'm gonna leave him in there until he finds a girlfriend or a boyfriend or whatever, right? So here we have 2 square root of 2. This is the exact same thing as square root of 8. All right. If this is kind of iffy right now, just wait until we do the example problems, and I'll show you more examples on how to do this. All right. Let's look at cube root. Cube root is the same thing, but in this case, let's look at the same thing. Cube root of 8. Right. We can't cube root this. Actually, we could, but I'm going to show you how we break it down. This breaks down to 4 times 2. Again, we can break this down to 2 and 2. And this one you can't break down, so it's 2, right? So because it's cube root, right, 3, we want a group of 3. Here we have a group of 3. If it's a group of 3, it's one big family, so they come out, and it just becomes 2, all right? I'm going to look at an example. I'm going to give you guys examples of variables. So square root. Let's do square root one more time. So square root of x to the 3rd, right? What this means is we're going to break this down to 3 x's, 1, 2, and 3. So the previous videos, we know that 1, 2, if we multiply these 3, we get x to the cube, right? Here we want the square root of x cubed, so we're looking for a pair, right? A group of 2. So we have a group of 2. They get married, they start a family, they're out of there. We have x. I don't know why I put that, but we have x. All right. So we have x. This is all alone, so he stays inside. and he's still finding a mate. All right. Let's look at a cube root one more time. So we have a cube root of x to the 4th. All right. What that means is this breaks down to 4 x's, right? 1, 2, 3, and 4. Here we want the cube root, so we want a group of 3. So 1, 2, 3, that's one group. They're one big happy family. They come outside. He's all alone, and he stays inside. All right. So this is our answer. So I'm gonna look at some examples here. The first one, square root of 36, we can plug that into the calculator. And one thing that I want you guys to do is actually plug it into the calculator. If it comes out to a single number, like for instance this is 6, then you're good to go, you're done. You don't have to do anything else, go on to the next one, right? But if you plug into the calculator and square root of 80 is not perfect, as in it's not a whole number, then you got to break it down. So this is how we're going to break this down. 80. What two numbers multiply to 80? Let's use 8 and 10, right? And you can use any numbers as long as it multiplies to 80. So 8 and 10, this breaks down to 4 and 2. This breaks down to 2 and 5, right? Here we can break this down to 2 and 2. This is 2, this is 2, this is 5. Alright, so all we're doing is breaking it down. So now, this is a square root, right? So square means 2. We want a group of 2, so that's one group of 2. Alright, so I'm going to put that as 2. There's another group of 2, so it's another one. And then this 5 is all alone, so he's going to stay inside, right? So we have that, simplified. Now one more step, 2 times 2 is 4, so this whole thing actually equals 4 square root of 5. Alright, hopefully that makes sense. Let's look at square root of 75. What two numbers multiply to 75, right? We have 25 times 5. Right? We can break this 25 down to 5 times 5. This one we can't break down, but we're just going to rewrite it as 5. So again, you see how I bring every single number, even though we don't break it down, I bring every single number down to each level. You need to do that. Don't forget that, right? So again, we're looking at square, right? Square root, we're looking for 2. This is one pair. So since it's a pair, they come out. I don't know why I wrote a 2. So they come out, become a 5, a family of 5, and then this guy, he's all alone, so it's square root of 5. Alright? Let's look at square root of x squared. So here we have x squared, so that means it's x times x, right? Again, we're looking at square roots, right? Square roots means 2, so this is a pair, a group of 2, right? So that comes out, this just equals x, right? So hopefully you guys see this. If it's one pair, they become together, they fuse as one, and it becomes just x, right? Let's skip down to this one right here. So we have a square root of c to the 6 d to the 2, all right? So this is how I'm going to write this. I'm going to put c times c, 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 and c. That's 6 right there, right? Here, d, we have 1 and 2. So we're looking with square roots. We're looking for a pair. So that's one pair. So I'm going to write that out. C. There's another pair. So that's another C. And another pair. That's another C. And then another pair of D. So we have that. C times C times C. That's 1, right? Each. So you're going to add those up. So that's C to the 3rd. And then just D. So this is your answer. All right. Try a couple of these two, and then I'm going to skip down to the cube roots. Alright, actually let's do this one. This looks pretty hard. So we have square root of 18, x to the 5th, y to the 3rd is z to the 4th, right? We can't put this into the calculator because it's not going to know what to do. So we're going to break this down, let's say 9 times 2, right? This one we can break down to 3 times 3, and then we're just going to bring the 2 down. The x, we have x, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? The y, I'm going to put 1, 2, and 3. Then z, I'm going to put z, 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 and z. Alright, so make sure you guys counted right. 18 broke down to 3 times 3 times 2. If you put this into the calculator, it should equal 18. X to the 5th, there should be 5 x's, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. y to the third, there should be 3, 1, 2, 3. Z to the fourth should be 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're good. We're looking for the pair, right? 2, a group of 2. So here, that's one group of 2, so I'm going to put 3. Then this guy's all alone. I'm just going to put a box around here because he's all alone. Here's one group of x's, so I'm going to put x. Here's another group of x's, so I'm going to put another x. This guy is all alone, so box, right? Y's, there's only one pair, so I'm going to put a y. This guy is all alone, so box. Z, we have 1 and 2, right? So that's z times z, right? The last part, all the boxes, I'm going to put under the square root. So here, all comes under here, right? So they're all losers. They have no one to play with. They're going to stay inside the box. So we just need to simplify this. 3 x times x is x squared, right? 1 plus 1. Y, z times z is z squared, and the rest is square root of 2xy. So this whole thing is your simplified answer to this guy. All right? Man, that was long. So let's look at this one over here, just so we have room. 54. We're going to break this down 6 times 9, right? Let's break this down 2 times 3. Let's break this down 3 times 3. All right? So in this case, we're looking at cube root, right? So we want group of 3. So here we have one group of 3. So I'm going to take that out. All right? This guy is all alone, so it's going to be cube root. Don't forget to put that there. Cube root of 2. So our answer to this simplified version of it is 3 cube root of 2. Alright? Should I do one more? Yeah, why not? So we have cube root of 135, x to the third. Alright, so we're going to break this down. 135, let's put it over here. 135, let's break it down. Let's divide that by 5. So 5 times 27, right? And then x, we have 1, 2, and 3. So 27 we can break down even more. So 5 we can't. So 27 is 9 times 3. Let's break it down one more time. This is 3 times 3 times 3. And then x is right here, right? So again, we're looking for cube. So it's group of 3 again. We have a group right here. That comes outside. So that's 3. We have another group right here. That comes outside. So that's x, right? And then we have this left over, and that stays inside. So don't forget the cube. This is your final answer. So 3x cube root of 5. All right. So notice the big difference here, though. Once you circle a pair, they just become 1z. Once you circle a group of 3, they just become 1x. All right. Once you circle a group of 3, they become 1. Like they all fuse together to become 1. All right. Try the other ones that I didn't go over and try the homework, alright? And that's it for this video.